Hey my loves, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my favorite series here on my channel by far, which is Ask Nikki. I hope you guys are ready to chill and talk and go through the struggle together, girl. If you are new here to my channel, what's up? My name is Nikki and this series is exactly what it sounds like. It's called Ask Nikki because my girls, my glamazons who are going through some things, have some situations going on in their life, they will email me at asknikki@yahoo.com with a particular situation asking for my mediocre advice. But also everyone knows that the great thing about this series is that it's not just me, it is you guys. They want your advice as well. So make sure that you guys are participating in the polls, top right hand corner of your screen, as well as down in the comment section below. If you have some wisdom, some knowledge to drop on everybody, girl, please feel free to use that space because I really love seeing all of us have a conversation and share stories and experiences and help each other out, because that's legit what this entire series is about, okay? So we're gonna be jumping right into today's Ask Nikki. We have a lot of things to talk about and of course some serious topics that we are going to be discussing as per usual, because otherwise why are we here? Please make sure that you take a split second of your time, girl, and you subscribe to my channel if you're not already, okay? I don't want you being a part of the percentage that keeps coming back here but ain't subscribed, all right? Let's not waste everybody's time, but especially your own, because you know that you want to be here, girl. You know that you want to be here. I'll let you do that while I get everything situated over here. Today I had like a few errands to run, like washing my car, going to the grocery store, stopping at the post office, you know, adult stuff, right? Anyways, I was out there and I really have been trying to like get ready. It helps me feel better. It helps me stay productive. It's just what helps me. So I've been getting into the habit of like getting dressed, doing my hair, doing my makeup, trying to look all cute, because I tend to work better throughout the day when I do that. Anyways, I did go to the grocery store like this, okay? I know I can't show you my belly right now because David will get so upset. Y'all gotta go to the Glamour Family channel for that, okay? So make sure you go over there and subscribe and you can see all this. But anyways, I had a dress on and I was like in my King Soopers going grocery shopping, and legit, you guys, 3 different women stopped me and complimented me on these earrings. So I've worn this in the past video and I got a lot of compliments on them as well. I think it's like the contrast between the gold and the white that like catches people's attention, and like they want to know where they're from and they want to know where I got them. They have like this marbling on them. It's like white and gold, and of course up here is gold. So I just want to let y'all know, because I have had questions about this before, these earrings, if you like them, if you think they're cool, these earrings are from a company that I've worked with before here on my channel. They're called Ana Luisa, one of my favorite jewelry companies ever. They carry a lot of stuff that goes with a lot of my clothes. All of their pieces are interchangeable. They have rings like this one. I've been really into that look, like the white and gold, and just like so I'm just gonna let y'all know, if y'all are interested in these earrings or in jewelry in general and you're trying to update your collection, girl, make sure you check out Ana Luisa. Check out my description box below so you can save some monies, because they do have a discount code for you guys for $10 off any of your purchases. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like jewelry like makes or breaks my outfit. So I just want to let y'all know before I got some questions. But I was having a good time answering this question at the grocery store. I was like, yes girl, like go visit Ana Luisa. Like they have all kinds of stuff like this. They liked it. I know some of y'all liked it. Just in case y'all have questions, check out my description, and you're welcome. As usual, before we get into today's Ask Nikki, what time is it? It is time to go over our Glamazon shot of the day. These are my girls, my ride or dies, my do anything for me, my support me no matter what type of Glamazons, my favorite of all time, my MVPs, okay? This is my girl Vicky. She sent me her Glamazon shot using her hashtag and tagging me. It really does help to tag me. She sent me this on Instagram. Girl, you look so cute. That lipstick is to die for. What you wearing? Did you share it? I don't think you did. Hold up. No, you did not. You're so selfish. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. You guys know that I would not be here without you, and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for trusting me with y'all's issues and situations that you guys are emailing me about. I know that it's not easy to do that. So thank you so much for considering me a friend and like a cousin or a sister. I really appreciate it. You guys have absolutely no idea how much that means to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's get into these questions, girl, because we got some things to talk about. Okay, so diving right in, this is from one of my Glamazons, and her subject line is pregnant and feeling like I'm doing it alone. Hi Nikki, I love you and your videos, and I really need some advice from someone who doesn't know me. So last summer at my church camp, I met this guy and I really liked him from the beginning, which is normal, I guess, but what wasn't normal was how strongly I liked him, but I wasn't the one to make a move. But by the end of camp, we became close to each other, and turns out that he lives close to me. Long story short, we got together, got intimate, and now I'm pregnant and I'm 19 and he's 21. Okay. All right, I'm just, okay. From the beginning, I've been struggling because I feel like I disappointed everyone and I'm basically doing it alone. He says he wants to be in the baby's life and everything, and in a sense, I believe him, but we had a terrible falling out because he had another girl pregnant and didn't tell me, so now I really don't want anything to do with him because I didn't make this baby on my own. He doesn't help me pay for ultrasounds. He barely helped me to buy the stuff for the baby, and whenever I ask him to help me financially, he can't because he's struggling, but he's trying, and I want to give him a chance, but I'm not seeing any changes, and I'm due in 3 weeks. I haven't told him the gender of the baby's name, or anything because I just feel like he doesn't deserve that because he's not helping. And with all of that, I barely have enough saved up to take care of myself and the baby because I lost my job, and that's stressing me out as well. What I really want to ask is, do you think it was wrong of me to not want anything to do with him other than helping financially? How do I stop feeling this depressed, feeling like I'm doing everything alone? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Much love to you and your family. Much love to you, girl. Some people hate when I go over the email once again, but like honestly, I'm sure that if this was your email, you would like me to dissect it and really take the time to read between the lines and try to understand where you're coming from. And the only way that I can do that is by like coming up with basically a synopsis in my head so that I can really try to put myself in your shoes and really give you the best advice that I can. So bear it with me, okay? Don't be getting all frustrated. It's not that I didn't understand it. I just need to make sure that I understand all of it, okay? And I didn't miss anything. So she's 19. He's 21. They met at church camp. By the end of church camp, they got together, they got intimate, and now they're pregnant. Our girl has been doing it alone. He says that he wants to be in the baby's life and everything, but you find out that you're not the only girl that he got pregnant. There's somebody else. I don't know if she's had the baby yet, but she's pregnant too. So he's got both of y'all pregnant at the same time. You're struggling with him because he's not providing financially, and like every little thing that you're asking for the baby is like a big deal, and like he's trying or whatever, but you essentially are doing this on your own. You just lost your job. You're stressed the hell out. Because of all this, you have not shared the gender, so I'm guessing you know the gender, and you haven't told him the baby's name, so you already named the baby, and you've done these things because you feel like he doesn't deserve it, because he hasn't been around, he hasn't been helping, like he's just hasn't been there. So your first question is it wrong of you to not want anything to do with him other than like financially? And how do you stop feeling this depressed and feeling like you're doing it alone? First things first, congratulations on your pregnancy. I know that you're stressed out, and I know that a lot's going on right now, and it probably didn't happen the way that you imagined, but you are having a beautiful baby, whether it's a girl or a boy. And you know, honestly, all of this isn't gonna matter when the baby is born and like you meet the love of your entire life. You know what I'm saying? So I know you're stressed out now. Congratulations on your little bundle of joy. Now let's talk about their daddy. I'm just struggling with the whole he's got another girl pregnant thing. Like I'm really struggling. Okay, he's saying that he wants to be a part of the baby's life. You are 3 weeks away from giving birth, so you're very, very, very pregnant. He hasn't been going to ultrasounds. He hasn't been paying for the ultrasounds, and he's barely helped you buy anything for the baby. By this point in your pregnancy, you have to pretty much have everything that you need by this point, because you could go into labor any day now. So you've had to buy all the Pampers, all the wipes, like all the lotions, all the body washes, like all the blankets. Babies need a lot, especially newborns. So you did pretty much all this by yourself. You've been struggling because you feel like you disappointed everyone, and basically you're doing it alone. I just don't want you to beat yourself up for this. I feel like, you know, this happens, man. Like this honestly does happen, and sometimes it happens in ways that you don't imagine, or like you didn't plan necessarily. Things happen. I feel like a lot of people nowadays especially are very inconsiderate and really close-minded to the fact that accidents can still happen because of the day and age we're in and everything. But for people like that, here's what I have to say. Number one, you don't know a person's circumstances, okay? That's huge. Number two, you don't know their medical history. That's another huge factor. And number three, honestly, it's really none of your business. I hate when people try to make you feel bad about having an unplanned pregnancy, or just basically doing anything in your life that's like different from other people. There are women that cannot take birth control pills because it will literally risk their lives. There are chemicals in birth control pills. Elevated hormones can do more harm than good to these particular women, so birth control is not an option. Then you have women out there that are allergic to latex condoms, and like you put those together, there are seriously so many factors, but at the end of the day, people don't need to be judging nobody. Like, who are you? Who are you to be sitting up there telling somebody when they should be having a baby and whether or not it's acceptable if it was not planned? Like, stop it. You don't need to be worried about disappointing anybody else. This is your life, okay? From what I can tell, providing for your baby and you making this happen, you're gonna be a good mom. So regardless of how it happened, it happened. I don't know about y'all, okay? But I'm a believer in God. And if God wanted that baby to be here, the baby was gonna be here regardless. Like, people act like they got a choice, and it's very funny. I don't want you beating yourself up for that. I feel like, you know, we care so much more about what other people think of us than what we're going through. None of that matters. The only thing that matters right now is you and the baby, okay? Because like, other people's expectations for you shouldn't matter. And as we get older, we start realizing that, and honestly, you should give no fucks. We've already gone over his shortcomings and the fact that he just has not been a good support system in your life while you're pregnant. You know what? My other Ask Nikki, where one of my Glamazons was asking for advice about a guy that she was dating, and after they got together, he finally told her that he had a girl that was 7 months pregnant already, and they had been together for months, and he did not tell her until just recently. Now, in that video, I was like, you know, he should be over there helping and like making sure that she has everything that she needs because she's pregnant with his child and she didn't make this baby on her own. I had some people believe that when you're pregnant, that you shouldn't expect your baby dad to like be there for those moments, like getting you, you know, snacks in the middle of the night and going with you to your appointments. And like, some people believe that like if you break up during your pregnancy, that all of a sudden he doesn't have to do all that. I 100% respectfully disagree with that. I'm just gonna say this because it's true. I'm currently pregnant, okay? So try to tell me otherwise. Pregnancy is a 24/7 thing for 9 months of your life, okay? There are 3 total trimesters that you have to go through and experience, and they're not always pleasant. You're either sick, throwing up, not eating too much, your feet hurt, they swell, your back hurts, your bones are expanding, things start changing, you can't breathe. Like, it's a lot, girl. We don't get a timeout. We don't get to like pass on the responsibility of pregnancy to our baby dad. We can't. It's literally physically impossible. So I want to know how in the hell to anybody it is fair just because y'all didn't work out throughout the pregnancy, why he doesn't need to be there for those things. God forbid, me and my husband separate tomorrow. I'm pregnant right now. If y'all don't think that my 7-8 month pregnant ass has a craving in the middle of the night, my feet hurt, my back hurts, everything hurts, the baby's kicking my ribs, and I just have a craving 2 o'clock in the morning. If y'all don't think I'm gonna be like this, David, hey, your baby wants some hot Cheetos and some hot wings and a Slurpee from 7-Eleven, so I'm gonna need you to make that happen. Okay, thank you, bye. Like, yes, I would. Absolutely, I would. Because like, why the hell would I have to get up by myself, all big, all uncomfortable, and have to go and get these things myself? It's a craving. It's something that comes along with pregnancy. He would not get out of that. Sorry, you gotta go get Pampers, get some wipes, you gotta put together a crib, you gotta put together the swing, you gotta get me my snacks. I'm sorry, because guess what? Guess who doesn't get to say, you know what, I just don't feel like dealing with it today, okay? Like, I'm literally growing a human inside of my body that's half you, might I add, all day, every day, okay? Like, the least you can do is buy me some snacks and be there for me because this is your child too. He needs to be there just as much as he would be if y'all were to stay together because you don't get a timeout from pregnancy. So why the hell should he? I feel like there are a few different ways to handle this. Do I feel like you're wrong for not wanting anything to do with him? Not really, because it's not like you're pushing him out. I have an issue with girls that like, just simply because they're mad or they're hurt, like let's just say your baby dad cheats on you and y'all, you know, y'all can't do this, y'all aren't together, and you're pissed at him because he hurt you, he broke your heart, he ripped it out and tore it in half and stomped on it and did all this, and you're pregnant with his baby. I'm not too fond of women that cut out the baby dad for that, because I just feel like the baby has nothing to do with that decision, with whatever happened, with his infidelity, with y'all's issues. You know, unfortunately, when we have a baby with a man, we gotta see that man all the time. Like, it's just, it's a thing now. Like, he's the dad. He will always be the dad. Ain't nobody gonna change that. Now, that's if the mom is pushing the dad out because she's mad, because she's hurt. I get that you're hurt, and it's not that you don't matter, it's that the baby matters more. Like, I don't know how else to word it, that's just how it is. And everybody knows that when you become a mother, your feelings come second. Like, that baby comes first, and at the end of the day, your child ain't gonna wanna hear about the drama between his dad and you. He's gonna want to be like, hey, well, was he there? You know, oh no, because you forced him not to be? Oh, nice. Like, it's a completely different situation in my mind when the father is choosing not to be there. Like, you sending him the appointment dates and you're like, hey, I'm gonna need you to be here for this, okay? Because we're having an ultrasound, so get your funky ass over here because you need to be here because you're the daddy and shit. And he doesn't show up. He's not there for the ultrasounds. He's not there for the testing. He's not there for anything. At that point, he has made that decision to take a step back and not be a part of my baby's life, then, well, you know, no, all I need you to do is handle your financial responsibility. I don't need you in and out of my baby's life. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Like, if David was like, you know what, I don't want nothing to do with this baby, and he wasn't showing up to my appointments, and he was just like not around, I couldn't get any help from him, and whatever help I did get, it was just like a fight. And I went to an ultrasound by myself and I found out the gender. Would I tell him? No, I wouldn't. I'm gonna be real. I wouldn't. I'd be like, well, you should have been there. I'm sorry. Like, you're gonna have to wait until the day of because you should have been there. I mean, it's really hard. It's hard because, like, part of me is like, you know, he is the dad, but then another part of me is like, is he really though? Because he's choosing not to come around. He's choosing not to be involved. Like, you're not the one pushing him out and telling him to go somewhere and like telling him that you don't want him around and to leave you alone. Like, that's not what you're saying. He's just choosing, he made that decision. So because of that, I'm like, I mean, why you gotta know? As far as financially, there ain't no getting out of that. Like, if you're not gonna spend your time on our baby, you're sure as hell gonna spend your money on our baby. Because you see, babies cost money, and babies usually are living in a 2-parent household, okay? And my baby is just as important as those babies. It's not my baby's fault. Their parents didn't make it work, you know what I'm saying? So like, whether y'all are together or not, he still has a responsibility financially to provide for your child. And he has barely been doing that. So if David was like purposely staying away from me and not being a part of my pregnancy, hell yeah, I'd be like, no, sorry. Whatever I found out at my appointments that I made time for, my business, okay? Not yours, because you didn't make the time out to do this. Like, again, I'm pregnant all the time. I have no choice but to make time out for this. You made the decision to not be a part of it. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, if he wanted something to do with your baby, then I'd be like, yeah, girl, you just gotta put up with it and look at his ugly ass all the time because he's father of a child, girl, what can you do? But like, this is different. He don't want to be there. He's not making time. He's not like, and girl, he got a whole other girl. He got a whole other pregnancy going on, you know? You probably already thought about this. You probably don't want to do it because, you know, for different reasons. Some people want to do it, some people don't. But it's for times like these that child support exists, that the courts exist. And it's so unfortunate. I feel almost dirty, you know, putting somebody on child support. But honestly, it is his responsibility. And your baby isn't going to have time to hear all these excuses like, I'm trying and like everything. No, I'm trying is not going to buy formula. I'm trying is not going to buy baby food. I'm trying is not going to buy Pampers, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm sure he has a job. He's 21 years old. He's getting money from somewhere. I would file papers with the court. I would put him on child support. Like, you don't want to see my baby, that's fine. You know, they're going to give him the option. Now with that, of course, they're going to give him the option to, you know, have visitation with the baby or like have split time. And like that goes into a whole different part of this. But it will ensure that he has to help financially with the baby, whether he likes it or not. They will start garnishing his wages. You know, they will make sure that, you know, you are getting the money that you need to provide for your child when he's not around, because he's choosing not to be around. How do you stop feeling this depressing feeling like you're doing everything alone? Again, I feel like the first step is to not have to do everything alone, to get him to help you financially. I feel like that's a huge heaviness on your heart, because you just lost your job, things cost money, you're trying to save, you're having a baby, you have to provide for yourself and your baby. Part of why you feel like you're alone is because you're struggling, and you shouldn't be. Pregnant and be in a doctor's office and just know that he's not going to be there, that nobody's going to be holding your hand, nobody's going to be there to like ask questions with you, nobody is there to like get excited and prepare the nursery with you. Like, that's fucking sad. That is so, I get why you're so sad and why you're just so depressed, but girl, a lot of times us women have to like pull it together and be really strong for the sake of our kids and keep it pushing, girl. You don't have time to be depressed. You don't have time to be down. Like, our kids give us a whole different set of motivators, you know, when it comes to providing, especially when somebody walks out of your life or somebody's not taking their responsibilities seriously. Your depression will kind of go away with time, because you're going to see that it was more of a loss for him than it was for you and your baby, if that makes sense. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here, and y'all know me, I don't like pretending like I'm an expert on things that I know nothing about. I don't know what it's like personally to be in this situation, so I can't tell you 100% how I would react, what I would do, what works, what doesn't work. So this is where my Glamazons come into play, okay? Unfortunately, some of my Glamazons, I know y'all have been through this, y'all going through this. Let us know down below, how did you not feel depressed and sad and defeated and just lonely and betrayed? You know, all of these negative feelings that come along with somebody that you created a human being with just completely stepping out of your life and like washing his hands of his responsibility. What was the best way to, you know, not be depressed and hurt over it? And if so, how did you do it? Leave us your thoughts down in the comment section below, girl. Check them out. Check out the polls. I'm so sorry that you have to go through this. Like, I know that you're freaking out and you don't have a job right now, and he's just making everything worse. I'm so unbelievably sorry. I hope things get better. I hope you get some clarity. Check out the comments, check out the polls, you guys. Show her some love. Thank you so much for writing into me. I hope that this helps even a little bit. I love you so much, and just hang in there, okay? Mwah. On to my next email. This is from one of my Glamazons, and her subject line is, how do I stay motivated if people always hate on me and my dreams? Ooh, girl. Hey Nikki, I'm 13 years old. First of all, I wanted to say that I've been following you for about a year now and haven't missed a single video of yours. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I know that you've talked about this subject a few times, but I feel like many other girls and boys have a problem like this, and I just really need advice on what to do, even if this won't make it into one of your Ask Nikki's. Girl, it did. So I have this dream to make it on social media and YouTube. I love acting, singing, and also love putting on makeup and feeling all glam and stuff, you know. I live in Switzerland, which makes this dream a little bit harder for me to reach, as I don't have all them acting schools around here. I take videos of me singing and buy makeup to film 1-minute Instagram tutorials. I always edit these videos to the point where I could post them and I actually look good, and I'm building up my makeup skills. About a month ago, I had enough courage to create a makeup tutorial account and actually posted my first 1-minute Insta video without talking. A friend, she doesn't really like me, then girl, she ain't your friend, online at the moment, and sent me a DM about that it was so cringe and embarrassing, and I got scared and deleted the account before anyone else could see it. When I told my friends about it, they told me she was probably just jealous, or so I I tell myself that, even if it's just that, it still doesn't change the fact that I get really insecure and anxious when thinking about posting. I really want to work hard for this because there is no other way. My question is, how do I stay positive and always do my best with posting, no matter if singing or makeup? How do I get over the hate and little views? How can I tell myself to stay motivated because I really want this? I'm sorry this is such a long message. I just really need advice. I love you so much. I really hope to hear back from you as I've been struggling with the fear of failure in this subject. Thanks for reading this. Sincerely, you're a glamazon. Aw, girl, I understand. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a little story, okay? Because it does pertain to this. I understand how you're feeling 100%, and you're absolutely right. A lot of people feel this way when trying to, be a social media influencer, be on YouTube, or just do anything outside of the box, you know what I'm saying? Like the regular schmegular box, all right? Most of you guys probably know that starting YouTube or being on social media at all in general is a very big move, okay? And it requires a lot of self-confidence, and it requires a lot of hard work, despite what people like to believe. And it also requires a sense of self. And what I mean by that is like just being very sure of yourself and be that way. And sometimes it's hard to gain that confidence. I'm gonna tell you this right now. When I first started YouTube and when I first started being on social media, I had a lot of insecurities and I had a lot of reasons to be embarrassed. At the time when I was starting YouTube, I wanted it as a hobby because I knew that I was in no way a makeup artist. Most of you guys know that I did start out trying to be in the beauty community. And so I knew that I wasn't like the best makeup artist. I wasn't a makeup artist at all. I just like having fun and doing reviews and stuff. So I genuinely just wanted it to be a hobby. I was always working so much. I had a full-time job all the time. I just wanted something that was mine. So when I started YouTube, I really didn't do it for the clout. I didn't do it for the views. I didn't do it for anything else besides it just really made me happy. Editing especially, oh my God, y'all, I love editing. I found something that I really, really enjoyed. When you enjoy something that much, it outweighs your fear of being judged and ridiculed and having people hate on you and having people make fun of you, because it's going to happen. It's happened to me. It happens to everybody. Suddenly people are critics and professionals and they got like expertise advice, and they just like, they feel like they have the right to be judging people in their work. But at the end of the day, when you're a content creator, none of that matters. You basically are an artist. What we do is we put our own personal spin on whatever it is that we're doing, whether it's makeup or whatever. The fact of the matter is, you as a person, there's nobody else out there like you, because you're you. You know what I'm saying? When I first started YouTube, I was already, older. I was already like 21, 22 years old. And so I had grown-ass friends, a lot of which were older than me. This wasn't, being a YouTuber wasn't as big yet. And I was like posting, OOTDs every single day, like while I was at work and on my Facebook and on my Instagram, review videos and stuff. And I was posting this to my personal profiles where it was like my friends that knew me in real life, and they thought that it was the dumbest shit in the world. They really did. Y'all, I remember one time I was planning a vacation with all of my friends. It was like 12 of us or something, and it was gonna be nothing but couples, and we were all in a group chat, and we were all planning to go to Vegas, right? And I had just turned 21. I was super excited, and so we're all in this group chat, and we're like talking about when we're leaving and all that. And like I said, it's all of us, so it's the guys too. And there was this guy named Paul, okay? Fucking Paul, I remember your ass, all right? I remember you. He was a friend of mine, not really. He like knew David, and so I had to hang out with his little ass. Anyways, he decided that he was gonna get on this group chat and decide that he was gonna try to roast me about the fact that I was doing YouTube videos. And he said something along the lines of, everybody needs to watch out because Nikki's gonna have like 15,000 bags of luggage full of her makeup because she likes to do videos like every other basic bitch. Like saying that what I was doing was basic, okay? And like trying to make fun of me. Y'all, it took 2 seconds. All my girlfriends were like, what the hell you mean? Like, why you gotta go there? Like, who you trying to make fun of? They, of course, supported my videos, but y'all, so many times people try to make fun of me and be like, Nikki with her videos. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, whatever. Like, I like doing it. Why does it matter to you? Do you think that stopped me? Girl, no, it did not. People are gonna think you're stupid, and you know what? At first, you're not gonna be that good at it, okay? It's just, it comes along with experience. So yeah, maybe there are a few things that you can work on, but it doesn't mean that you should quit. It doesn't mean that you should be deleting accounts. It doesn't mean that you should stop doing what you're doing and what makes you happy just because you may need to work on a thing or two. Like, it took me a long time. Girl, I ain't even done growing as a creator. There are so many things that I'm still learning. As my channel grows, you know, like, you never stop learning. But when I first started out, my lighting was terrible. My camera was terrible. I stuttered a lot. I was very insecure. Like, I wanted to try to be, if you go back to my earlier videos, I really wanted to try to be like very prim and proper, even though that was not who the hell I was. But I felt like in order for you to make it on YouTube, especially in the beauty community, like, you really need to be like, you know, put together and polished. Girl, no. Like, I didn't start getting my subscribers until I was really being myself. Stop listening to people. If I would have listened to Paul's funky ass, I would not be here right now. If I would have listened to all the people that criticized me and made fun of me behind my back, because a lot of times they were too cowardly to do it to my face, that girl that messaged you, that DM'd you, had a lot of balls. And I would have told her, if you don't mind your goddamn business, if it ain't for you, then it's not for you. Keep scrolling, bitch. It's not for you. What you mean? Why do you have to come over here? Like, this ain't even constructive criticism. Don't be telling me that it's cringy. Like, you could go somewhere with that. Like, why do you have to be so rude all the time? Bitch, your face is cringy, okay? Ain't nobody coming to you about that now, are they? Don't get me involved. I'll be going on popping off on these little girls. I don't like that. Like, why you gotta come at somebody just because they want to be different or they're trying it, and just because you're too scared to do it? Because I bet you money, and that little girl that DM'd you, she wants to do this so bad. She wants to be a YouTuber so bad. She wants to be a beauty guru so bad. I bet you money. But you know what? She would never, ever, ever have the balls to do what you did. And she got mad at you for doing it. And like, she didn't want to see you do it. So she made fun of you, made you feel insecure, and you fell for it. Girl, don't fall for it. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. It's going to suck at first. It's going to be very embarrassing. You might be cringy. Who knows? But you're never going to know unless you try. And you keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. If it's something that you really want, like you said, you wanting it means more than other people's opinion. They don't matter. They really don't. Because at the end of the day, girl, when you make it, because you're working hard, all of them are going to be wishing they had your job. So don't be paying attention to these little girls. That makes me so mad. Glamazons, let her know up in the post. What would you do if you tried to put on some Insta videos, if you were trying to, you know, make it on YouTube, and you got a girl that's coming in your DMs and you start feeling ridiculed and criticized? What do? Let her know up in the post, down in the comment section below. Girl, don't be paying attention to this. My advice, don't be paying attention to this. Do you, be great, keep working, keep trying, and like, you can do this. Don't be worried about that. Like, who cares? Who cares? Who are you? Nobody? Bitch, please. All right, on to our last email. This one, I hate talking about, but I'm gonna talk about it because I love y'all and because I know that I'm not the only person that has experienced this or gone through this. Unfortunately, it's literally so many of us. I wanna talk about it because if already, god damn it. Because if it can help at least one of y'all not feel the way that I always felt for like years and years, then bitch, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna cry through it, okay? And not rhyming shit because I'm on my shit. You don't know my shit. Get up on my shit. See, I use comedy to like stop me from crying. This is from my Glamazon, and her subject line is growing up without a father. Hey girl, I would like to be kept anonymous. You got it. Before I start, I just want to say I love you so much and congratulations on baby number 3. Thank you so much. I'm 14 and an only child who lives with my single mother who doesn't really date. My father was never in my life at all. He actually told my mom to just have me aborted. When I was younger, I would see all my friends at school with their dads and being happy. So of course, I would always ask my mom about mine. When I was younger, she would just reply with the usual, you don't have a dad. But as I've gotten older, she has told me more about him, like his name, what he was like, though she has never showed me a picture of him. Just recently, I found out that he has a wife and kids and just had a house built in a wealthy city near me. So I thought, how can you live this happy life knowing that you have abandoned another child who is also yours? At this point in my life, I don't really know if I should meet him. I mean, I want to, but I don't know what I would say or do. Whenever I think about him, I can't help but get emotional. I get you. I know that I'm still young, but his absence has a huge impact on my life, such as anger issues and having an attitude problem to the point where I really just don't care about much anymore. I also have major trust issues that get in the way of me trying to have relationships, whether it's with a boy or just a friend. This situation has also caused me to get bullied in school for people using it against me like, haha, you don't have a dad. With all that being said, I need help on what decision I should make next. I really hope you get this. Love, your Glamazon. Okay, let me get it all the way together. Okay, hold on. I understand you on a whole different level. A lot of people have questions about my dad because I don't ever talk about my father ever. And there is a reason, because he doesn't matter. You know, a lot of you guys already know that I came from a single parent, so it stands to reason that my dad wasn't in the picture. Now, I don't really feel like going into the whole history of it. Like, you know, everyone has their own stories and whatever, but I will say my father chose to not be a part of my life from like day one. Okay, I literally laid eyes on my father one time in my whole life. He just decided, basically like yours, that he wasn't going to be a part of my life. You haven't even seen a picture of your dad. I saw like 1 or 2 pictures when I was a kid, and then when I got older, my mom showed me a few more. She hates talking about him, and I completely understand. And she felt like when I was too little, I wasn't gonna understand like the story. So she kept it really simple, like your mom did. My dad too moved on with his life and had other children, has his family or whatever. I internalized that a lot. I'm gonna tell you my personal experience because I was in the same exact position as you, okay? I was living at my old apartment. Y'all know the janky one. If y'all been with me for a minute, y'all remember my old apartment that I lived in with David and Julian. I think I was like 22 or 23. The topic of my dad came up, and I think around this time David and I were already talking about possibly getting married, and it's during this time that I was like, you know, I don't know my dad. There are big monumentous moments coming up in my life that, you know, am I sure that I don't want him to be a part of it? Am I sure that I don't want to know him in any capacity or whatever? So there was a time I had the option to reach out to him if I wanted to, and I was able to write him a letter. So I wrote him a letter, and I really didn't know what to say, and I was like, you know, I'm your daughter. I know you don't know me. You saw me once. I don't know anything about you. I don't know if you're interested in getting to know me. It was like something along those lines. And I wrote this really uncomfortable, awkward ass letter to my dad. So I write the letter, I get it all done, I pour out my heart, I feel really stupid, I feel very vulnerable because like, he's a stranger essentially, you know? Now this is gonna be completely your decision, but this is what I did to help me make the decision that I made, okay? I asked myself this one question: is anything that he is going to tell me or he is going to say make me feel better or make me feel whole? Is it going to heal me in any way? Is there anything that he'll ever be able to say to me that will justify his absence in my life? The answer was no. Quite simply, it was no, because one of two things was going to happen. Either he was going to tell me the truth, which was going to be the hard truth, like, hey, I just didn't want to be a part of your life. I didn't want to take responsibility for you, and so I just decided not to be there. That would be the hard truth. That would hurt me so bad. Or he would try to lie to me and feed me some BS about why he wasn't there, that he tried or whatever. The problem with that is that there's so many factors. If my dad wanted to get to know me, he could have. My grandma lived in the same house for almost 20 years. There's family of mine that still knew my dad, you know what I'm saying? So like, if he really wanted to find me, he could have, and like, he didn't, because he didn't want to. At the end of the day, that would not make me feel better. It would not erase history. Like, it would not, I'm already grown. Like, I'm grown now. Like, you missed all of it, okay? At this point, I wouldn't feel like he would even deserve to be at my wedding, the birth of my children, like any of that, because he didn't raise me. He didn't take the time out to like get to know me or to find me. Let's just say your dad or my dad, if they were to say, I just didn't want to deal with your mom didn't want me to see you or whatever, I had issues with your mom. I was already grown. I was already like 22, 23 years old, and he knows when they had me. He knows when I was born. So if you didn't want to deal with my mama, why didn't you come find me when I was 18, 19, 20, 21? Nothing still? Silence? Okay, fine. Like, this is your doing. This is your decision. It's clear, it's open, it's blatant, okay? When I answered that question and the answer was no, like, nothing that he can say to me is going to make me feel better or whole. It is just going to damage me even more. It is going to make me feel even worse about myself. I allowed his actions to determine how I felt about myself. I made that decision to not, because here's my logic behind that. I'm not saying that you need to make this decision. This is all based on your circumstances, sweetheart. This is your decision. This is your relationship or lack thereof, okay? My decision and my situation in particular, I struggled a lot with my mom. We went through a lot by ourselves, my mom, my brother, and I, and he did not make time for me. He was not there for any of the moments in my life, including cancer, first days of school, being sick, you know, every milestone ever. He didn't give me the time of day. He didn't wonder about me. He didn't check on me. He didn't talk about me. He didn't do any of that. So now that I have the decision, I'm not about to do any of that either. Why would I extend that to him? Like, I just feel like same. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, you wasn't trying to mess with me. I ain't trying to mess with you. Like, it's fine. I have the same damn issues as you. My anger issues stem from my dad not being around, that and other things that happened in my life, okay? But a big part of it was me being without a father. A big issue that I had was just not having a whole lot of self-worth. Like, I kind of overcompensated. Like, I know my worth. I know. My being hard on men, like, hey, I'm not putting up, you know, that whole thing that I do where I'm like, I'm not putting up with shit. You understand? I'm not putting up with any dudes talking to me crazy. I'm not putting up with anything. I'm not putting up with anything. I feel that way very, very strongly because I didn't put up with that from my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to let not one more man make me feel like I don't matter, like I'm not worth it, like I'm just disposable. I would not allow myself to be made to feel that way ever. If I even got a whiff that a dude was trying to make me feel unimportant, bye. Why? Because all my life I've been feeling like that, homie. You're not about to add to that shit. Go, bye, gone. You know what I'm saying? So, needless to say, it did affect my relationships because I had a hairpin trigger, okay? Because I was very sensitive and emotional and damaged because of the fact that my dad wasn't around. It really does affect you when a person that helped create you wants nothing to do with you. You blame it all on yourself. You know, apparently, that your dad was telling your mom to just have you aborted. I want you to understand that that had absolutely nothing to do with you. I know that it feels like it has everything to do with you because it's a direct attack against your being, but you need to understand it had everything to do with him and his lack of maturity and him not wanting the responsibility of a baby. Do you understand? Like, it wasn't anything personal because he didn't know you. Any coward of a man has that in the back of their mind, like, oh, like, will say that so that they have a chance to not have the responsibility of a child. Whether the child was you or not, it would have been the same because that's just what he was. That's the kind of man that he was, that had everything to do with him and nothing to do with you. The fact that my dad didn't want anything to do with me, I took that as a direct hit to my worth, and I felt like it was my fault. That if I would have maybe been different, I wasn't good enough, maybe I don't know, like something about me just wasn't up to his standards. No, it wasn't any of that. He didn't want the responsibility. He was selfish as fuck, and he decided to get up and leave. So, like, that's it. That's all. Honestly, like, it's just somebody that doesn't want to take responsibility for their actions and doesn't want to take any responsibility for anything, you know? The fact that our dads have other family, does it like hurt? Yes. Does it make you feel a certain type of way? Absolutely. I'd be lying to you if I said that it didn't. But at the end of the day, those kids aren't you. They never will be you. He will always deep down know that he has another child out there and he has to live with that. He does. You don't. You never know, girl. You don't know what he's like. You don't know what his wife has to put up with. You don't know what type of person he is, because a man that can do that isn't a good man. I'm sorry. A man that can just take his hands completely off of his kids for like no reason, like I said before, like the mom isn't pushing him out or forcing him to stay away. And if a man is making that decision, I don't know how else to put it. Like, that's the coward of the utmost, you know? It's gonna take time, and it took a lot of time, okay, for me to I had to stop projecting my issues onto everyone else, onto every relationship, like, it was mostly relationships. It wasn't really friendships for me, but relationships, like other boys and you know, guys that I was dating. I would project my issues, my daddy issues, if you may, onto them. And if they pissed me off in the slightest, I became very, very sensitive to any sort of attitude, any sort of like dismissive behavior, anything. That's why I am the way that I am. That's why I always be like, peace out. Peace out. Because you know what? Like, I'm done feeling this way. I still very much believe in that mentality. Like, don't put up with things that you don't need to be putting up with. Don't let nobody treat you any kind of way. You deserve to be treated right. And like, I'm very much a believer in that. But I don't internalize every single thing all the time now. Like, if somebody hurts my feelings, I used to internalize that as, okay, you're hurting me like he did. Like, you don't think that what I have to say matters, just like he did. Like, it always went back to that. Like, I don't let it go back to that no more. It has nothing to do with that. And it took me a long time. It took me years, you guys, to get to that point. And I'm talking to you guys about this because I know that a lot of you guys grew up without a dad. This past Father's Day, I put on my Twitter, hey, like, if you don't have a dad, don't be feeling bad today, because Father's Day used to suck ass for me, okay? Like, everybody was like, you know, talking about their dads, you know, daddy-daughter dances. Do you guys remember those? Oh my God, kill me now. Like, there was nothing more, like, intensely hurtful than that, to, like, have whole events that you just can't attend because you simply don't have a dad. It sucks. You're 14, of course, you're gonna internalize all of this, all of it. But it's as you get older that you start understanding that it really has nothing to do with you. I know that it feels like it. I know that it seems like a direct hit to who you are, what you're worth, and why he didn't feel like you were worth anything. But my dad not being a part of my life was his loss, not mine. I can say that 100%. I'm not missing anything. Like, I'm good. My life is good. I have my husband. I have my kids. I have my family that I have built a bond and a connection with. He's just a person now. Like, honestly, my mom and I call him my sperm donor, because at this point, that's what the hell he is, because he chose that. I did not. Nobody else did not. He chose that. So here's what I would say. Before you reach out to him, ask yourself that question, because sometimes reopening a door and allowing someone in that has hurt you in the past could possibly do more damage than good, because you don't know what kind of person he is now. I personally was at that point, and I knew that I was willing to live the rest of my life not knowing him. But I will say this. My dad not being a part of my life honestly motivated me to work very hard. I worked my ass off in anything and everything that I did, including this job, because one of my biggest motivators was for the day to come that he realizes who I am and what I've done and the things that I've accomplished. He would realize who I was and the fact that he chose to not be in my life, and for him to realize that he did not break me, he did not stop me, and he did not have anything to do with my success. And I feel like that's like my last, like, that's how a lot of these fathers be coming out the woodwork talking about, I want a relationship with you now. No, I'm too petty. I can't. No, you're not having a relationship with me. I would straight up look at him and be like, oh, you want to be in my life now? Oh, for real? Because I don't know you. You had nothing to do with this. You had nothing to do with this. Like, I started focusing more on the people that wanted to be a part of my life and that had everything to do with raising me, and that, you know, invested their time and love into me, and stop putting so much emphasis on him, because he doesn't deserve all of that, like, for me anyway. So the root emotion of being angry is just being hurt. You're hurt. I don't feel bad for myself anymore at all. I feel bad for him. You're you. He's missing out on you. Like, I feel bad for him, girl. Like, I feel bad for my dad. I feel bad for him. Like, I pity them. It's truly pity that I feel for men who don't have anything to do with their children, because you're missing out on all of this amazingness. Sure, it's the decision that you are making for yourself, okay? Not for anybody else. As far as the people that make fun of you for it, like, I really don't understand people like that. They act like we had a say in whether or not our parents stuck around, and like, it's people like that I can't stand, because it's like one of those things where, like, how are you gonna make fun of something that somebody can't control? Like, what's wrong with you? Those people are miserable. They have no class. They have, like, don't let them bother you, and God forbid, God forbid anything happens to their perfect little life and their perfect little family, because then the tables are going to be turned and they're going to be made fun of, you know, for shit that they couldn't control. So goes around, comes around, girl. You let karma deal with them, honestly. That's where I'm at. That will probably be the only time that I talk about him. I hope that this helps. I hope that this brings, you know, a little insight into my story and the fact that I was able to move on wholly and completely without having to open that door. That's just me. But you need to make this decision for yourself. It is your decision, 100%, love. So give yourself some time, ask yourself some real questions, and make your decision off of that. Don't forget to check out the polls, and down in the comment section below, y'all, I know I'm not the only one. I know that I'm not the only one that has this story, unfortunately. So let me know your thoughts down below. But that is it for today's Ask Nikki, you guys. Thank you all for writing into me and coming back here and keeping this series alive and participating in the polls and leaving your wisdom down below. Like, it is just amazing when I see all of us conversing and really just helping each other out. I really appreciate you guys. I love you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. And also head over to the Glamour Family channel. We are going to be doing all of the baby stuff there and have the boys on camera. We have a vlog plan. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video even a little bit. Make sure you share it with anybody who may need it. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to check out my description box for that $10 off code for any Anna Luisa jewelry, girl, because I know you feeling it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Peace out.